Hello. I'm Wendy McCann. You'll have to forgive my throat, so I sound ever so slightly more something. I will let you decide what the something is. So lovely to come here to where I know I've got so many fans who are here to listen to my songs. I'd like to use tonight to look back at some of my songs, to maybe sing some of the songs that I've done over the years, maybe to sing some songs about things that we end up talking about, and maybe make our own lives a bit nicer when we leave. I'm going to start off with a song about the wonders of bossiness. Bossiness has a bad name, sometimes. But I think bossiness sometimes is a good thing. I think you can use bossiness in a positive way. And I will let you see how. This is my song, Bossiness. You've sat there for half an hour, not knowing what to do. You've sat there for half an hour. What do you want me to do for you? Well, I could tell you what shoes to wear, I could tell you what shirt to wear, I could tell you which way to tie your tie, I could tell you which way to wear your jumper. I do it every time. Where would you be without me? You'd be naked, I do see. Or you'd wear your trousers around your head. That's not the sort of thing I want to see in bed. You've been there for half an hour, staring at the TV, not knowing what channel to watch, waiting till I say what appeals to me. I'll just let you sit there, undecided. I don't like singing songs about stereotypes, but if there's a stereotype, it's you. So I say, that's the way it has to be, if you want to be with me. But just once I would like it, if you would take the initiative for once. It doesn't have to be much, it doesn't have to be big, just let me tell you got it wrong. Thank you. That was a song I wrote for my boyfriend about 15 years ago, David. I'm not with David anymore. We separated shortly after a very unfortunate incident where I misheard pants as fants, and he turned up in a can of appetizer instead of a pair of trousers. You lose respect for a man when that happens. So, yes, as I believe most of you know, as I understand, I've got quite a following talent, which is really, really nice to know that Wendy McCann, it is Wendy McCann, yes, Wendy McCann, I like to remind myself of my name every now and again, that Wendy McCann has a bit of following. So Obviously, this is one of my many places that I'm touring around the cinemas of the world. And it's a delight to be here. I started, of course, who remembers which country I was born in? Anyone remember? Scotland, it was Scotland. I've lost the accent as time has gone on. It tends to get you out of a few pub arguments if you lose the accent. I grew up in Glasgow. You wouldn't know. And I was a songwriter in the heart from an early age. I used to play with the pans in the kitchen and bump out TV themes. It's quite good because you've got the metal handles and the wooden handles and they make different noises. Doesn't sound very tuneful. My mum and dad didn't really support me in my playing the pots and pans, but I look back and it was the start of a career. And I started playing songs in the Glasgow pubs when I was 17 years old. No one listened. They just sat there drinking and I was in the corner. Every now and again they'd ask to turn the jukebox down. No one realised it was me. And I started off singing about things in Glasgow. Does anyone here remember anything particularly about Glasgow that I sang about?
Stinks.
Sorry? Stinks? Stinks. Glasgow stinks. It certainly isn't fragrant. And I did write a song about the stink of Glasgow. I don't often get the chance to play it now, so it's quite good to have that reminded. I give you stink. What's that little smell? What's that? It stinks like hell. Is it the toilets at the side of the pub? No, 'cause they just got a high-tech plug. Is it the barmaid? No. Is it the Englishman sitting in the corner? Well, no, but we'll say it is anyway. Is it the food that we eat? No, it's you. Too much cider makes a guy smell of apples, and too much whiskey makes a woman smell of whiskey. Too much cider makes a man smell of apples. Too much whiskey smells like you. I like sitting here because I like the aroma of smells. There's the whiskey, there's the cider, and there's something else. There's lots of smells all together. It's called the Glasgow cocktail. Oh, the Glasgow cocktail, you don't get it anywhere else. Such a combination is the Glasgow cocktail. That's what we tell the tourists. It's the Glasgow cocktail. Oh, we enjoy it. We tell ourselves that anyway. I used to worry when I was a teenager that I smelled. Because you never know whether you do or not. Because if you did, you'd be used to it. And you wouldn't see it as a smell anymore. And it always bothered me because I thought, how do I know that I don't smell? Because no one will tell me that I smell. Because if I ask them, they'll be polite, even in Glasgow. It worried me. It really worried me. Anyway, yes, so I made some songs about the stink of Glasgow and about drinks, and they weren't that popular. In hindsight, it wasn't a choice that I should have made. But I did meet a man in Glasgow before I left. Anyone remember his name?
Jerry.
Jerry, it was Jerry. And what did Jerry do? I'm just testing how well you've read my biography.
He was a plumber.
Sorry?
He was a plumber.
He was a plumber. He was a plumber. He fixed everything in my house, came round and did all the heating, did all the radiators, and I liked him. And this is the song that I wrote for Jerry the Plumber. They say that water is the bringer of life, and that sewage is the bringer of death. They say it now since I wrote this song. They say that pipes are the DNA that brings life to us all, and they say plug holes are the enzymes that deal with the shit. They say that illnesses are cured with clean water, and if you don't have a good filtration system, then you ought to. If life is water, and there is a supreme intelligent design, someone who moves all the pieces and chooses all the species and makes the earth move around, then in my life it's Jerry. Every time I see a tap that's clear, water running, every time I see a plug hole drain, I think of your face and I see your work, and I think Jerry's been here again. When I called you out to fix a leaky tap the 10th time in a week, you seemed to think that it was unusual, but you had got me beat. The way you turned the spanner, the way you tested the valve, the way you turned your stopcock, the way that you lifted up the garden grass to inspect any moss. If there is someone who drives life, then in my life it's Jerry. If there's someone who drives all life, then it's Jerry. Please, can you just keep coming around? I can hear the kitchen tap, it still makes a sound. I don't think it will stop, because I know that I have removed the washer, so I can phone up Jerry. I can phone up Jerry, so I can phone up Jerry. It's a very expensive relationship. Jerry was a lovely man. He He was a very good plumber. He also did electrics on the side, although he wasn't qualified for that, so he never told anyone that he would. But if he was there on a job and there was a light switch that needed doing, he'd do it. So I left Glasgow. Who remembers where I went? Latvia. I did go to Latvia. It seemed the obvious choice. I'd had my fill of Glasgow. I'd sung enough songs in pubs where people, rather than ask you to sing a different song, just threw a pint glass at you. And I thought if I come to Latvia, then I might discover...
6 toed people.
Apologies?
People with 6 toes.
People with 6 toes. I don't know if it's polite to point out that Latvians have 6 toes or not. I suspect it isn't. But you see, I don't mind if people have 6 toes. I don't mind if people have 6 toes. Who can have too many toes? They're useful for all sorts of things. I won't explain what toes are useful for, because I'm sure you can all think of things, but they're very useful. And I think 6 toes is fine. Hence my first song when I got to Latvia, 6 toes. I know your secret. I know what's underneath your foot. I know what you are hiding. I know you've got 6 toes. I know your secret. I know what's under your hat, and I will keep it a secret. Oh, I'll keep it secret that you've got 3 ears. I know that you're secret. I know, but I don't mind. I know that if I look, I see 3 buttons on your behind. I know if I looked into your ear, I would see a little snail. I know if I looked into your hand, then I would see enough little things to tell a tale. Oh, I know your secret. I know it's enough. I know that there is many things to offend me when you're in the buff. I know your secret. I know, and I can't stand to know that under your gloves you've got 7 fingers on every hand. I know that you have got a lot of injuries that make your finger look like a little finger that's really in pieces. Oh, I know that you're very weird, and I know, and I'm all right to show you that you are not so weird as the people that live in Estonia. People that live in Who was it that was rude about Latvians? Ha. It's not quite bossiness as putting someone in his place. Are there any gentlemen in the room at all? Put your hand up if you consider yourself a gentleman. Keep your hand up if you consider yourself a real gentleman. This gentleman is the nearest gentleman to me. I'm going to test if he's a gentleman or not. I've got a sore throat. I'd like a glass of water. I would love it if you poured me a glass of water. What's your name?
Donnell.
Donnell. Donnell's going to get me a glass of water. A gentleman. I no longer have my Paloma to bring me water, but I've got something that's just as well. I've got Donnell. Come up here, Donnell. Have a seat. I no longer have Cherry, but I've got Donnell. Although not everything's right, because I'm a lady and he's bought me a pint. Should I let Donnell sit down again? Tell me about yourself, Donnell.
I'm working as a programmer, but I want to do something different. I want to work developing myself, so I want to have a career doing self-help.
You want to develop yourself? Oh. Do you do that using C and programming languages? How do you want to develop yourself, Donnell? I like a man who likes to develop himself.
I want to learn more about how people work, how their emotions work.
I'd like to know more about this. What would you like to learn?
I want to know how I can create any emotion that I need in myself and how to solve any emotional problems.
That's easy. What emotion would you like me to create?
Excitement.
Excitement. In Russia, there's a man with 3 legs. Thank you, Donnell. It is 3 legs, it's amazing. It's very expensive for shoes because he has to buy 4 at a time. So if you could have a superpower or a different thing with your body without making it crude, what would it be? What would you have an extra one of?
Wings.
Wings? So have you already got one wig? Obviously I don't know about wigs, but I do have a song about wigs, which I may as well play now. Hair on a net, hair on a net, weaving all sitting on top of your scalp, it'll keep you warm. As long as it's good quality. Cleopatra had a wig. Now it's a fancy dress costume. Georgian princes and regent princesses had a wig. What does this tell you? It's insecurity. Don't hide your head. Don't hide your head. I want to see each little vein. Don't hide your head. Don't hide your head. To do so is the limits of fame. You can get them for a £5, but those ones are mostly pink. You can get them for a £10, but they might fall apart. If I was to have a wig, it would be a very good one. A wig is hair without a body, which somehow feels quite profound. A wig is a head without a head. It's a brain that can't hear a sound. It works on a scarecrow, it scares the birds away, but it doesn't work for humans, I can tell. A wig from a person any day. It doesn't fool me if you have a stick with a bit of hair. I will see it coming anywhere. Wigs. Thank you. So, I was in Latvia and I met all the people with 6 fingers. I did. And I again went round singing songs in bars. And in Latvia they weren't as rude when I sang songs in bars. I couldn't speak anything apart from English, so they couldn't understand a word I was saying, but generally that helped because I couldn't offend them. So that worked quite all right. I got myself a job. Obviously had to pay the bills. Singing wasn't paying the bills at the time. Anyone remember what job that I got?
Masseuse.
Masseuse. I was a masseuse. Above board masseuse. Nothing untowards. And yes, I would rub people's shoulders and generally relax people. And this is how I paid my way. And it really hit me about how actually stressed most people are. And I decided I wasn't going to be stressed anymore. I'd never been that stressed in the first place, because I'd had running water, I'd had taps that didn't drip, I'd had everything I ever wanted. But it really made me realise that I didn't want to be stressed. So that was quite nice. And the main reason that I'm not stressed is that people tend to do things for me. Don't know. That's not the only reason, but it does help. And so yes, so I was in Latvia, and guess what happened? I met a plumber. And I met a wonderful man called, anyone remember, because I'm not... Wildes. It was Wildes. Wildes, yes. Wildes. I don't know why people are laughing, he was a very nice man. I met Wildes, and he showed me that there was more to water than fixing a leaky tap. He would come around Wildy's and he would help me put my heating on. And then we'd sit and stare at the boiler, 'cause the TV had nothing on. He would come around and lock my sink. He would remove all the gunk, because I wanted him to come back. Well, I put it in the pipe. What do you think? Maybe I've got a thing about plumbers. Maybe I've got a thing about handymen. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a useful task. Oh, that's what I like in a man. He could use a spanner like a pro, and he could use a boiler, don't you know? And he would do the best thing that any plumber does. He'd leave a little bit undone so he could come back tomorrow. Oh, he could use a spanner like a pro. He could use a boiler, don't you know? And that did it all for me. He was my Latvian Jerry. Two pushes on the button, and that puts it into turbo mode. Three pushes on the same button, and that is how you get the water to flow. Four pushes on the same button is how you stop it being too warm. And five pushes on the same button would break the button from overuse. Oh, he could use a spanner like a pro, and he could use a boiler, don't you know? And the best thing of all, Wildy's, he had 5 toes. Wildy's, he had 5 toes. But as I say, I have no problem with people who have too many toes, as long as it's not my boyfriend. Makes me shallow, maybe, but so yes, I was in Latvia. I was singing some songs again. I was singing songs mostly about plumbing again. I ended up playing plumbers' conventions, plumbers' conferences. I had some excellent songs about the Worcester Bosch boiler and its different idiosyncrasies that would make it not start all the time. I had a good run of songs about that, and I had a good run of songs about manhole covers and how you can't get a round one in a square hole, or was it a round one in a round hole? It was a choose your own ending song. I then poured myself out. I started playing electricians' conferences. All sorts of exciting songs about circuits and switches and batteries and Samsung Galaxies. But I came back round to celebrating people. Because actually, call me a softie, but people that's who makes water move, and it's who makes electricity go round. Well, it's not, that's differential potential. But you know what I mean. It's all about people, and whether they've got 5 toes, or 3 legs, or snails at the bottom of their ears, or 3 bottoms. We're all people. And I'd like to sing a song about how we're all people, and that's what makes us wonderful. And it's called Sod It, Make the Most of What We've Got. the brightest, but he is a nice guy. He drinks in a pub in Glasgow, and he has a very nice time. 'Cause the thing about George is he's got a cold all the time. So he doesn't, when he hears or smells a smell, he doesn't mind. So the Glasgow stink is fine for him, he doesn't care. So he'll sit in a corner of a bar. Make the most of what you've got. If you can't smell, sit in the stink. Make most of what you've got. You can find something that works for you, I think. Make the most of what you've got. Be like George. Be like George. Wildis has 6 fingers. He was born that way. He was a freak, people laughed at him. But what is he doing today? He plays the piano, he can play some chords that normal people have never played before. He uses his fingers for what he knows the best, and he's better than me, I do confess. Is Wildis. Make the most of what you've got. Jerry is a nice guy, but he doesn't really know how to weld a pipe. So he keeps himself in work as a plumber by being charming to all the women, and that's how he gets asked to return again and again and again. Make the most of what you've got. 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 Dowell, Donnell, sitting at the front. Programs computers, but it's not what he wants to do so well. He has a dream, which I may have ruined for him, but I hope that I have not. 'Cause he's got the kind of look of a man, and I think he will make the most of what he's got. 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 I'm sort of okay, but occasionally I have a problem, I say. It's very, very sad. And what is it called? My problem is that though you wouldn't think it, I'm bald, so I wear a wig. But I have one, it's okay. Make the most of what you've got. 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 Although some people don't have anything to make anything of. And for those people, you need people like Wendy McCall to talk to you and be bossy and tell you what to do. when you can. Make the most of what you've got.